Nathan, Nathan, NathanIvey.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. And far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, close fish, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AM? John will be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Grippos. Show you where the Brits at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 513, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back, everybody, to the last honest place in America. It's the Nathan Ivey Show, brought to you by the good folks over at Sin Digital Media. Today's show is brought to you in part by our friends at Wing Champ. Visit their website today, www.originalwingchamp.com. Hungry? Looking for a place for perhaps lunch today? Check them out. Maybe you've got an upcoming event. Maybe they can cater. Or you're looking for somewhere new to go and take the family or the friends, maybe hook up with the ladies or the fellas. Check out Wing Champ. They're out in Sharonville here in beautiful Ohio. Sharonville, Ohio. Check them out. You can call ahead and place an order, or you can have it delivered. Check them out today, www.originalwingchamp.com. And oh, by the way, they are Black owned. And when you do, make sure you tell them that you heard about it on the Nathan Ivey Show. Means everything. On today's show, my friends, many things to discuss. We'll get to that in a second, but let me go back over the weekend. So Friday didn't start. I mean, I'm not a funeral person, but I attended our brother Glenn's funeral. I thought as I was on the show, I was preparing to go to the visitation because funerals can get so emotional. And I'm a very emotional being. But I did, and I'm glad I did. I was supposed to be there. And I did get up and say a few words. I forget all about the fact. I didn't realize it until this morning because people were posting saying they saw the funeral online. They stream these funerals these days, which is so convenient because, you know, people are COVID sensitive or people sensitive or just got shit going on. Or they're busy and they can't get away, but you can still kind of see what's going on. And a lot of people said a lot of good things. I saw some of the choppers there. I saw Ray and Renee, of course. Tanika was up from Florida. Good morning with her sister. It was great to see both of them. And Donnie B was there as well. She got up and spoke. She got me when she spoke too. I was trying to be, well, actually, I wasn't trying to be anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. I was just in the moment, feeling whatever I felt. And I got to say a few words. And I don't know, you know, like I said, I'm not a funeral person because I feel like, you know, once the energy has left that shell, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just a vessel. But I did go for various reasons. And I got up and just kind of spoke about the same things I say on the show. Like, I'm a real simple guy, very simple, very transparent, because I'll just tell you what it is. You know, God saved me. He saved me so I could come back and spread the gospel of flow. And as a part of that, to share my experience. You know what I'm saying? I know what it's like to feel like you're about to die. And then to live is just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So I just thought, tried to employ the people in the room to take care of yourselves as our regular basis, getting your blood pressure. If you got diabetes, whatever them folks tell you to do, it's the right thing to do, then do it. It's only going to make you healthier. You've on this life in good health for as long as possible. At least I know I do. So that was a Friday during the afternoon. I do know there were a lot of choppers that came beforehand because I saw it. I saw like people posting stuff, and that was great, man. It was great. That a lot of people said a lot of great things about Glenn, and he was the same brother all the way around. Because the more people spoke and people that were very like close to him, like one of his close personal friends, his brother stood up and spoke for Glenn, and you could tell like, damn, that brother was the same no matter what he was doing and where he was at. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it 100. And then Lincoln was there as well. He played Lincoln. Lincoln played Glenn's last call into the Lincoln Ware show. And I thought it was so apropos. I thought it was like classic Glenn, Glenn calling in, getting it in. I'll say it again. That's a special type of talent. It's the rhetorical arts. We're so used to thinking about art in certain dimensions, but this is the sphere of rhetorical arts. And Glenn was a rhetorical artist. It takes a certain type of intelligence to be able to articulate yourself in 2 to 3 minutes in a way that's both informative, factual, and entertaining. And Glenn was able to do that. He just did it naturally. He wasn't even thinking about it. That was just him. But then what I realized is he was been doing that since he was capping on cats on the school bus. His brother stood up and said, "This is Glenn. You would get roasted." I'm like, that was just him. You know what I'm saying? That was just his talent. And that is a talent. You know what I'm saying? If you have a similar talent, don't let nobody play you, and that's your talent, period. And what you do with that is up to you. That's completely up to you, my friends. Good morning to you. Dividing black people is easy. It's super easy. And I'm not surprised. Over the weekend, I saw an article that says that the support for Black Lives Matter is plummeting, even among black people. The people that responded into this poll. Now, even polls like this, let me add this caveat so you let your brother know that I am aware. Even polls like this can be a part of the plot to divide the community, because the caveat to this conversation is that's what the media, that's what this one poll said. Sometimes, and we all know this, it feels like sometimes people pay to have these polls done with a desired outcome to sway public opinion. So people will say, "Did you hear about the poll?" Right? That's the point I'm about to make as well. But I want you to understand that I am sensitive. I am aware that that's a part of the plot as well. But let's just say for a second, and let's look at this perhaps as if it's true. In a recent poll, respondents said that their support, even black folks said their support for Black Lives Matter is going down. And so the way I want to look at it is, look at all of this negative media attention about Black Lives Matter. Just think about that for a second. Whether you think it's valid or not, it's interesting that it's there, right? Because that Black Lives Matter movement had a lot of potential, man. That had a potential to shake the foundations of this country. We humans are just creatures of the moment. Like, we only remember 90 days in front of us and only looking forward 90 days behind us, right? We can only remember 90 days with things that happened 90 days ago. And in some cases, we can only project things that are going to happen 90 days in front of us. So as human beings, we have a very limited scope, I think. Some do. And people may have forgotten, but that summer, man, the whole world was watching. Everybody was watching. Everybody was sympathetic to the plight of what was going on black people. A lot of black organizations, rose, got a lot of support and funding during that time, because people was like, shh, what? People in the city even reached out to me like, "Nate, what's going on? What do you need?" I'm like, this is interesting. Very interesting. But it seems like that time has passed in some people's minds. And I don't know what Patrice Cullors did with these millions of dollars. And I'll be really honest with you, I don't really care. I don't care. You're not going to get me to believe or to disbelieve in those foundational principles that when I think about Black Lives Matter, that I think that they believe in. And that's what it's all about. They're trying to tear down the fabric of what we should be, and in what some cases some people are building toward our liberation. In some people's cases, some people look at it that way, or to a brighter future, however you want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's that COINTELPRO. That shit is still around. You know, surveilling what's happening in our communities. Wait a minute, is they military? Is they organizing? Oh hell no. Oh hell no. We got black folks organizing. We can't let them do that shit. And then they start running at them same old games, that doubt. Put a little of that doubt. What they doing with the money? What they doing with the money, right? That's one of the biggest doubts. That works all the time, especially in a capitalist society. What they doing with the money? What? There it is. It's a wrap now. I can't support it. That's why I don't get too upset about what Dr. Umar Johnson did or didn't do with the money for that school. I wish the brother the best, but I don't even want to let myself start going down that line of thinking, because ultimately it's self-destructive. I'm telling you, dividing black people and dividing people in general, but dividing people in general is very, very easy. And I keep making this point, and I'm going to keep drilling this point down. You're not going to, it's very difficult in most cases to convince somebody or to go against what they really believe in, especially the older they get. The older a person get, what most people, and this ain't good, but most people get set in their thinking, and whatever they think is what they think. Them damn liberals is taking over. The damn conservatives are evil. You know, these extremes. So if you're really trying to influence somebody, you just push them a little bit more in the direction that they're already leaning, and just stand back and watch them fall, rather than trying to go against their own intellectual or their own emotional momentum. That's very difficult to do and not smart. Not smart. So they play into what, oh, you know, black folks, you know, every time you get some black folks together, they do this. And it works. It works. It works every single time. Now, am I here to tell you that I think that I know everything that Black Lives Matter National, and I never even think about them actually, what they've done with the money? I don't know. Could it come out that, you know, maybe there's some criminal charges that come? Maybe so. We'll deal with that if that happens. But even afterward, I'm never going to give up. Nothing's going to make me think that um the wealth of black lives is not worthy of more attention. I don't want to hear that. Nothing's gonna make me believe that police brutality is not a real fucking thing. I don't care what Black Lives Matter does. It makes no difference to me. It's irrelevant to me. Okay. I look at these news stories like they put a lot of effort into trying to discredit this organization. And when I see that kind of energy trying to discredit an organization, it makes me think, why? Why? It's already happened. I mean, you know, part of that agenda going back 2 summers ago was all about transformation inside of our police departments. Has that happened? What I would imagine has happened is that in the cities where you already have a foundation of people that have a relationship with the police, right? They've already been doing that work. Probably in those cities, they're probably able to make some changes, big or small, medium, however you want to play it. In cities where they don't have those kind of relationships, man, they ain't thinking about, man, it's back to business. It's back to business. Nobody's watching. America's not sensitive like it was to the concerns of black folks. And then you have this shooting. And, you know, I can't say that I've listened to every minute of what people call new black media, because I have not. And shame on me for that. And maybe I may contradict myself. It may be that I'm in error, but I'm going to go ahead and say this anyway. I read some of these headlines from new black media. And again, some of these shows are 2-3 hours long, so I haven't listened to all of them, every minute of it. But I hear people, so where's the anti-black agenda? Where's Biden's response? And I think we should be having those conversations on some levels, right? But I think the real conversation is, what are we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I'm average Joe with a superlative flow. We on the ground in this. Family to family, what is the response? You know what I'm saying? And then sharing what those tips or tactics or whatever they might be. I thought that yesterday Edna had a very interesting conversation. She had a brother on, Dr. Jones, a professor of philosophy. I forget the school. And they was talking about this, and he was breaking down. The brother's got the brain for it. He's breaking down all the historical background on everything. And I thought it was interesting. He made an interesting point. He said, you never see any of these white supremacists run into like a Nation of Islam mosque. Now, when he said that, it kind of triggered something like, maybe I remember something many years ago, and I don't think it went too well for the potential perpetrator or whatever. But you don't really see that. And I thought, damn, he's interesting. I never seen that. They're not going to roll up into the Nation of Islam. Number one, they may not get in. And then maybe the perception is they might be dealt with a different response. I don't know, but I thought that was interesting. Good morning to you. Sister Iris writes, same old game. Yep, same old game. That's what I would say. I would say that, I just remember like news article after news article in these particular cities that initially after the death of Breonna Taylor and brother George Floyd, there were all these conversations about the transformations that we're going to make to their police departments. And then I remember like within the last 9 months reading articles where it's kind of like, well, yeah, but they went back to, reallocating funds the way they always allocated funds. So it is what it is. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Anthony writes, I'm with you, Nate. I'll criticize if BLM gets charged with fraud if it happens. Yeah, even then, I'm see what they want us to do. It's so funny, man. Like when white people do some crazy shit, it's on the individual. When black people do some crazy shit, it's on the whole organization. The whole mission statement was wrong. Everything was corrupt. Everybody ever touched is corrupt and evil and bad. Man, I'm just saying. I that's why these stories about they bought a $5 million mansion. Maybe they need a $5 million mansion. So what? They rented out and had a birthday party. So what? Patrice Cullors is paying her people's big salaries. I don't really care about that either, really. I didn't give the Black Lives Matter. So I can't criticize the people that did. If I had, then I'm in all the way. Whatever you do with it, I hope you do the rest, do the best. You got to show me to get a little bit more, but maybe I'll be there. I don't know. But I'm just saying, don't fall for the banana in a tailpipe. These over criticisms of Black Lives Matter and these other organizations. Speaking of which, have you signed the Black Census? Get to it. There's a Black Census is circulating right now. It's like, what the hell is he talking about? The Black Census. It's called the Black Census Project. It's the folks over at Black Futures Lab. Yes. Yes. These are the same folks that Ice Cube totally ignored when he said, ain't no black agenda. I'm like, bruh, you don't even know about the other agendas out here, but you're going to school us on the black. There are black agendas, bro. And it's a travesty for you just to look over that. Like, they ain't made no movies like me. And if you don't get your ass out of here, Ice Cube, but I'll share it with you. I saw people were circulating it, and basically they're asking black voters about the issues that matter to you. And then they use that to craft, their policy ideas, right? Rather than Ice Cube and a bunch of his friends going into a room. Not to discredit it. I'm just saying there's a difference when you get that input from the community, I think. Anyway, good morning to you. 513-873-7134. And then Friday night, the wifey and I, she had a long week. My week has been, y'all just don't know things behind the scenes. You have no idea. But I just wanted to get out and be grown. I said, you know what I'm saying, with no children. So we went down to the black female-owned spot, Nostalgia, down at OTR, and run into some friends, ran into Donnie and her friends. So, man, it was great, man. It was like I was in Wakanda. I'm looking at all this black excellence, black doctors, black lawyers, black entrepreneurs, black elected officials, all vibing together. Shit, I was in heaven for about 2.5 hours, 3 hours. And then I, turned it in after that. You know what I'm saying? So other than what was happening again. That's I said again, Glenn, like all the dearly departed before us, they just went on that next adventure before I do. That's it. That's it. That's all. Life is sweet. It's got a lot of pleasures. The other side of that is the unknown. Religious folks or spiritually based folks, they believe that the actions that you make in this world will impact your judgment and what happens to you in the next world. You have to make your own decision on that. If so, that means that your steps are guided by a higher purpose. That's a good way of living. That's a good way of living. So, um, that's it. That's all. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Clarence Thomas's wife is dangerous and a traitor. She's a traitor. There's new a report out, multiple sources. It says that it reports that Jenny Thomas, Ginni, Jenny. She urged Arizona lawmakers to overturn the election via email. Now, this woman is married to Clarence Thomas, black male Supreme Court justice, but she's like a big in the Republican Party, which is nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I hear some of the goofiest shit ever coming from primarily working class Republicans, like wealthy Republicans. I understand why they play that game because they're benefiting. But you got some of these Appalachian, the bluest of the blue collar, what I'm saying, up from the mud types that really be into the Republican Party that don't pay them and really, I don't know, seems to have them under a trance. But you know what? Everybody's under a trance, I guess, these days. Well, anyway, the email comes out. It's been reported by the Washington Post, the New York Times, CNN, Huffington Post, MSNBC, AZ Central, Fox News, ABC News, Axios, PBS, Esquire. I mean, so multiple sources, and you got all the bloggers uh, that cover these major news outlets talking about it as well. So basically, now why is this so deep? What's so deep about it is that there was no plot whatsoever to steal the election from President Trump, and everybody knows that. And so this is a litmus test to just show just how extreme a Republican is. Like any Republican that doubles down on the whole stop the steal shit should be looked upon as an extreme Republican because everything's on a scale. You got some Republicans that's got some fucking sense. And you got some Republicans that have completely sold their soul to the cult of Donald Trump. And it don't matter whether it makes sense or it jives with the way that they grew up and their morals, or it don't really matter. Whatever comes out of his mouth, it's like coming out of their mouth. It is what it is. And those are the true believers. But then you have those at the top, the elites, who know it's a lie and will still use it to try to manipulate people that they think are lesser intelligent or swayable or open to whatever the propaganda is. Like, it's one thing to suffer from the propaganda, right? Like we just got some innocent fools out there. You got a lot of innocent fools. They just don't know no better. And that's one level of just like OMG. But the top level, the arch nemesis levels, are the people that know it's a goddamn lie. They don't believe that shit. They know that they know that Biden didn't steal no election. They stay laughing. But they'll get up in front of cameras and use that shit and try to use that shit behind closed doors to get what they want. That's another level right there. That's a whole nother. And Jenny Thomas is on that level. So what's the problem here? Is the problem because people keep because she's now in Supreme Court, her husband is. But what's the problem? Is the problem that if she's one of these arch conservatives, how much influence does she have on Clarence Thomas and his vote, which is like a super crucial vote? Like, think about this. You only got 9 Supreme Court justices? Just think about the power they have. And I don't know if, Clarence Thomas is just like a ventriculous dummy. because he looks like it. Like, he looks like the kind of black man where Jenny Thomas is running every facet of his life and shit. That's what she looked like. I mean, am I wrong in this? Again, I don't know these folks. I've never met them before, but from afar, she looked like, and he looked like a little Mitch ass mofo. She probably running him around and running his vote. I wouldn't be surprised if he runs to her, if she's the real shadow Supreme Court justice. I wouldn't even be surprised by that at all. Anybody, would you be surprised by that? She's the real Supreme. So when we got Clarence Thomas, because that's just like, if she is basically the real Supreme Court justice and she's just like puppeting like Clarence Thomas, the same way she tried to do these elected officials, these election officials in Arizona, by the way, it's the same thing. Man, listen, all these books that have been written about the Trump administration, and in some recent books, which names forget me, I just remember the conversation. It came out that Jenny Thomas was like real close to Trump. Now, you only had two kinds of people that was real close to Trump. The ones that he was playing and the ones that was playing him. You had two types of people, and we've seen this. You had two types of people that was surrounding Trump, like in his orbit. The ones he was playing, like they really felt like Rudy Giuliani, these men that just like cut off their penises in front of Trump and offered them up to it. Like in the Yakuza, there is a ceremonial custom that the underbosses must endure if they fail an assignment, and they have to cut off their finger in front of the Yakuza leader. I forget the name of the procedure, right? Is that what Trump has these motherfuckers doing? Like Giuliani, these other peons that was running around trying to be close to him? He was just playing them fools. But Trump wasn't no super smart guy, but he thought he was. And those are the ones that are the most gullible. Those are the most gullible motherfuckers out there. The motherfuckers, they think they smart and really ain't. Tell me I'm wrong, family. So you know Trump has some real vultures around him, and he thought that he was playing them, and they was really playing his ass. Like Jenny Thomas is doing Clarence Thomas. I can see it. That's some bold ass shit. Like, could you imagine? Just think about this. Could you imagine that you're on the Supreme Court and this is what your spouse is doing? You whipping up insurrections? It's the same concept we say with children. What do we say with children? We already know what our kids gonna do because kids always do shit at home before they take it to the school. So if she doing that shit in public, calling lawmakers, whipping up insurrection, what you think she doing in the household? She running that motherfucker. She running it. That takes some balls. But you love America, though. I love America. Yeah, okay. Jenny Thomas is running that ass. She's the Supreme Court justice, not Clarence. That is very clear to me. There's no way in the world he's running that. He got any say so. And you out here whipping up insurrections, trying to turn over the Constitution, calling folks in Arizona. Who are you? You know who? I bet you it's like an inside baseball thing in some circles, like in that world. Yeah, you really want to get something? Yeah, send it to Jenny. Supreme Court Justice Jenny Thomas. But what do you think? 513-873-7134 if you would like to share your thoughts. That's what I see. You might see something different. I don't know. You might see something different. That is crazy. That just Lemmy writes, Ben running it. Right. Y'all smart people. Y'all see it too. Ben running it. So that's what the fear is. The fear is that if she that ballsy, if she got them kind of cojones. Now, in a just and fair world, which we don't live in. We don't live in a just and fair world. We live in a world where might makes right. The strong do whatever the hell they want to do. and the weak try to get in where they fit in. That's the world that we live in. That's the world that we live in. But if we lived in a perfect world, all these motherfuckers should be brought up on some kind of charges or some shit. Something. To the fullest extent of law, but I don't know. Living Rights, now we all know. Willie Rice definitely what's going on. Absolutely. She's the real Supreme Court justice. So I don't want to hear nobody giving this brother no kind of, he ain't even a man in this position. You can see that. Like you people who are married, folks, would you do some shit like that? Your spouse is a Supreme Court justice, and you out here fomenting insurrections, trying to overturn the will of the people to bend to your will. Does that sound like the kind of woman that inside her house is taking orders from Clarence Thomas? Not even that it will be orders. I wouldn't say that, because that's like an extreme part. But has any real respect for this man? I can't see it. I don't see it. Sorry. I don't see it. Good morning to you. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Fox writes, rise and shine. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Ray writes, good risings all. Good to see you, Ray. And Renee over the weekend. It was their birthday, everybody. Their birthday was on Friday. So, it's like they said, look, we're going to enjoy our day now. And I wasn't mad about it at all. Not one bit. Do your thing. Live your life. Be the best version of yourself. That's it. That's all. So over the weekend, it came to my attention that there's an article circulating saying that Black people, 75% of the respondents, African Americans, Black folks, said that they fear being the victim of some kind of physical assault just because of their color. And we've been talking about this all week about the trauma associated with these kind of things, which I think just gets underplayed. It's not that people don't care about it. I just don't see a reflection of it enough in the media. And I'm talking about in a way that I think is empathetic, not coming from inside our community, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, where can we get our collective hugs? Can we get our hugs? Crystal writes, her birthday is on Thursday. Okay. Hey, good morning, Vernon. Lemmy writes, but a lot of women run the men. Nothing new. Okay. Charles writes, he isn't even a man in his own house. That would be my guess. Like, I put the flows together, I put them out there, or whether they actually end up being 100% what's the case, I don't know. That's a lot of pressure. I don't know. I can't tell you that. Good morning to you. But I'm telling you, going back to Friday evening, man, I was just sitting back, just like, just enjoying the vibe, recycling my Black dollar with intentionality and just checking out the scene. And I predict, and from what I'm hearing and seeing around the city, man, some big things are coming. Big things are coming to Walnut Hills. Big things are coming to Walnut Hills. Big things are coming to OTR. Big things are coming to a lot of spaces around the city of Cincinnati. This city is changing. It's changing right in front of us. I think it's going to be dope. Let me write the issue when we try to defend ourselves from hate based on hate and we get punished, catch 22. Well, rather to be judged by 12 than to be carried by 6. Do what you got to do. And, I would hope to believe, even though we've got evidence to the contrary, that the facts will be on your side. What is it, June 1st? Hey, you can conceal and carry legally in June 1st. So we'll see how the mood change, if it changes. The Betting Public Sports Show, aka Fame, writes, Clarence Thomas survived paternalistic Yale University from the South to become a Supreme Court justice. He deserves your respect. Please stop. Why does he deserve our respect? He deserves our respect in terms of the accomplishments that he's had. Yeah, definitely on some Black excellence type shit. I give him that. For certain. You could say Clarence Thomas is a token, or you can say he's an example. It's all about how you look at it. You know what I'm saying? You could take inspiration from what Clarence Thomas has done without copycatting his political, ideology and viewpoint. So yeah, I can give him all of that. But what has he done for us lately? Angela writes, good morning, Nathan Choppers. Good morning to you, Angela. Good to see you. But what has he done for us lately? I wait. Maybe nothing. Maybe everything. I don't know. So that was Friday. Friday was I want to say that Friday was a good day. Because the way I'm just jumping through different flows here, but going back to Friday, I think it was a good day. It was a good day. Oh man, we had Kev on the cell. Kev, call me right back. I'm sorry, brother. Call me right back. There he is. Let me shut up. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nate. It's Kev on the cell.
What up, Kev? My problem. My bad, brother. That was all on me, man.
Hey, it's no worries, man. I'm listening to the flow and loving it. It's all good. It's a great day for a great day, man. It's a little gray outside, but that's all right. It's sunny in our hearts, right? Let's keep it moving. No need to stop. I got a couple things. First off, the Clarence Thomas thing. No, I don't think so. I don't think Jenny's running anything in Clarence's house. I think that's just their household politics. And Jenny can say what Clarence can't. So, quite frankly, Clarence was probably like, yeah, man, you give it to him. Do whatever you can. Get out there and say all of the stuff that I'll never be able to say, because based on my position, it is impossible for me to write the letter that you, as a free and clear citizen, are able to do. I'm sure they are both in cahoots as far as that's concerned. Man, I got a little report from the streets, man. Somebody very close to me over the weekend got to experience firsthand, and for the first time, what it is like to be in America and to be black. And so for all the people out there that are saying we pass race and blah, 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 and all the rest of that crap, somebody very important to me called me up yesterday and was hanging out in a park, just chilling in their vehicle, which is actually registered to my name. And lo and behold, a cruiser went past them, doubled back, came back and said, hey, what are you guys doing? Now, they were working on a project for school. So I'm in my feelings because everyone's telling me that all lives matter. But why does all life matter so much when you thinking negative stuff about us? It don't matter when you thinking positive stuff about us. You don't want to give us any money. You're not trying to make sure that we can go to school. You're not caring about none of all that other stuff. But you making sure that our lives matter when you think we're up to something nefarious. Nate, I don't know if you're watching Wu-Tang, bruh, or if you've seen it already. But, bruh, my goodness. There's a scene in there where my man says, and it's a mess. He says, I'm not a drug dealer. Why do you think I'm a drug dealer? And he goes off. And I'm thinking to myself, that's the problem. They're still seeing us as drug dealers. They can't see us as corporate entities, not even just individuals, actual entities. People who run from the ground up corporations, right? But they cannot see us that way. And when I say they, I'm not saying every one of them, and we're not going to do all of that stuff where, I don't do all of that. But there are certain people, unfortunately, potentially in power, that do not see us as being able to be anything other than something negative. And bruh, I'm tired of that. So again, the easy way around that, I'm going back to my stick, because they messing with people I love, is to get the bag. And it can't just be me. It can't just be Nate. It can't just be one or two people. We as a culture have to raise our level and our standard so that when they look at us, they say, don't mess with those black people. They about their business. Because that's what they say about those Jewish people. And that's what they say about those white people. And that's what they say about the Asian people. They say that about many other people. The only folks they really don't say that about is us. Going back on my shtick, bruh. Let's get that bag. If you got an idea on how to help somebody else get that bag, share the idea. And when you get that bag, share the bag between your community and your family. We got to raise our standard of living, and we got to raise our standard in the community, period. I know I went off, bro, but it is what it is. And it's still a great day for a great day. I hope everybody is blessed and stay safe. Keep it moving. Shout out to my man, Glenn. I hope they getting what we spit. I ain't going to take no credit for that. We all know who said it. Be blessed. Stay safe, Nate.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Thank you, Kev. I just looked over here. I'm just talking and talking and talking. It's been a minute. You know I had to get it in. Sorry. Let me see if I can recreate that energy. So I don't know what I got myself into. I have no idea because I signed up to chaperone my son's field trip today. And my son is a real blessing. He is a real blessing. Uh, it's funny because you create these children and then they're like little copies of you. And so my son is a chip off the old block, and so is my daughter. I'll say it again. I'm reiterating myself because I think a lot of people missed it in case you heard the first time. But my wife deserves a medal because she's in a house with three me's. She's got me, my junior, and my firstborn daughter, and they're all like me, and we drive her crazy. I'm surprised she hasn't left me yet. You know what I'm saying? I know she's thought about it. I already know because dealing with me is enough. I'm enough. And then she's got to deal with a 7-year-old version of me, sprinkled in with some of her, which is the worst. And then a 16-year-old version of me who is basically spent 10, 11 years of her life as an only child. So she got that only child in her. Spoiled, rotten. Oh my God, medium Buddha, who's developing nicely. Last week of exams, I'm picking up her earlier today so she can come home. She got, I think she's done actually after that. This girl be maneuvering and tinkering. It's crazy. So this morning, all of us were in our bedroom, which if you have children, especially more than one child, your room is like a second living room for them. It's like a second living room. And they'll come in whenever they want to. They feel like entitled to be in your bed and shit. Like I come home and want to get in my bed and my daughter's propped up watching our TV. And I'm like, you got go downstairs or go what the and then get an attitude with me because I want her out of my bedroom. And I'm like, what in the hell is this? Entitled. My son is into the NBA. And so all day long, all he's doing is practicing shots inside the house. He's got a little ball with him. He takes it everywhere he goes. And he's like, Kobe, or he'll be like Tatum, or he'll be like Curry, right? Jimmy Butler, because he's watching, the playoffs. And then with the wonderful world of video like YouTube, this boy now is watching all basketball videos. Like he was watching like the 2000 Lakers game, right? And in our conversations, he's talking about the game in the sport the same way I might talk about it with some of my friends. It's just crazy. But he's coming from a little boy's perspective, so it's so sweet. So we enjoying that. We'll enjoy taking him to the court. I don't know if he's going to play ball or not. I wish he do. I hope he dope. You already know that. I'm going to try to make him be as dope as I possibly can make him. But I don't know. You never know with these kids and what they want to do and people. It could just be something he just likes to watch. I'll take that too. So that was Saturday. Chill. Sunday. Chill. There's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes that I won't get into of a more personal nature. But for the most part, life is pretty damn good. And people who speak in Glenn's viewpoint suck as callers. This show will suffer. As I said for years, y'all don't deserve me. Cleopatra writes, first of all, we have to stop calling ourselves black. Oh boy, is that right? Yeah, I've heard those arguments. Again, I understand it. People that make the argument that you shouldn't call yourself black. I mean, I've talked to people on this show and tried to say that to them, and they couldn't understand it. So some people, when you say black, some people look at that as African Americans. And to me, the term black is bigger than just being an accurate portrayal of who we should really call ourselves. Like I noticed some people that's like, and again, there's some very good arguments. There's some very, very good arguments with points that I say that I understand where they're coming from. But for me, I'm open to however you want to call yourself. Like if you want to call yourself indigenous, okay, cool. If you want to call yourself African American, okay, cool. I'll meet you wherever you are. It don't really make a difference to me. As long as there's some recognition of that your experience is different here. Cool with me. Some people don't like to call themselves black. I've heard arguments that I've heard three like major arguments against black people calling themselves black. Okay. I've heard it plays into the overall propaganda and the dehumanization of black people for black people to use that. I've heard those arguments. I've heard I'm not even sure what the word is. It's not correct or logical. Like other races don't define themselves with a color, right? Right. Or not, or do they? White folks say I'm white. But and then I've heard, what's the third argument I've heard? I heard that, calling yourself black is a weapon that's used about that's used against melanated people across the world. Like it's like a historical worldview and shit. And I understand and respect all of them. But what I also say is that uh, black folks, African Americans, FBA, whatever you want to call it, that we have a unique experience in this country that's unique and distinct and should be respected and shouldn't be overlooked, right? And as a byproduct of that, you get these terms that, while you can make arguments against it and, logically it makes perfect sense, but it makes sense in that context with us. And I think that's where when I say I'm black or black, that I look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear some of these arguments, they're very intellectual, they make a lot of sense. I get it. Okay, cool. But I'm just answering Cleopatra's. She just made me think about it. She said, first of all, we should stop calling ourselves black. I don't know. I don't know if it's if that's that important. I don't. And then I think there is an importance when black folks in America say I'm black, there's a history and a culture and pain and triumph. There's all kind of stuff behind that. There's all kind of stuff behind that that's unique and significant and shouldn't just be overlooked. So I vacillate, African American or black or, it depends what room I'm in, but I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know how I feel about it. But I hear you, Cleopatra. I'd like to hear more as to why you say that. Those are my thoughts. TNT writes, everybody don't have a deliberate target on their back, but our community is trying to rise above the hate. Brother Iman writes, okay, now I'm in with him. I get the second part. Man's ultimate title is businessman. Right. Sorry about that. Fix the mic. Sorry. Nate, it's the Regal. No sound. How does he not know? Joy is like, how does he not know that he's muted? I'm going to have to change something like the way my configuration is, because to answer your question, Joy, because y'all suffered through that, I owe you explanation, is that my board is, this is minutia. Let's just say that something is obstructing me viewing it and I need to change it. Yeah, I should have just moved the configuration so I can see what I need to see. So you're right about that, Joy. I'll take care of that. I can understand that's, well, we missed all of that. Arnell writes, we missed all of that. You went almost 5 minutes. Oh, that's just terrible. Don't tell me that, Daryl. I feel bad about it. Sorry. I'm up here looking like a damn fool, but it is what it is. Sorry about that, brother Iman. Sorry about that. Respect and salute to Mrs. Ivy. Yeah, she deserved it. That woman has to deal with me, and that is enough. I'm telling you. And then she got a little one, and then a female version, a teenager of these times. Oh, dear Lord. Ah, man, it is what it is. Nathan writes, Lemmy writes, Nathan enjoyed all your children, your wife, great times and memories. So today I saw, what the fuck I do this for? You ever do something and be like, damn, why I do that? When you got it, when it gets time to actually do it, you be like, damn it. How do I get out of this? And I'm not going to get out of it, but I signed up to be a chaperone for my son's field trip today. I thought it could be cool for him. And then it gives me a chance to do something at least once a year at his school, at least once a year. Wifey's engaged at his school, and I should have been more engaged this year, but I wasn't. But this is like, I want to make sure I go to the school at least once, even if it's the last week of school, and let his teachers. Now, it's better early in the year to kind of volunteer and be and to help the school and help the class and all that kind of stuff. That's just us. So, but there's a part of me that don't want to do it. But I got to do it because my son is super excited. He's like, see you later, daddy. And when your son say see you later, daddy, with that little see you later, daddy face and that see you later, daddy voice, you know how them kids get you. I can't disappoint them. So I'll be there today for 2 hours. And it's the kind of 2 hours where you got to be engaged. I can't go and be on my phone and be in my own little world. I've got to be engaged, right? So it's gonna be exhausting. It's gonna be exhausting during the day. So there it is. Roy Rice, are you still planning a happy hour? Absolutely. I was talking about it with some folks over the weekend, and I'll let you know. Absolutely, for sure. Let me Rice, I love being a chaperone. I mean, I'm belly aching a little bit, but you know what? I love to see kids have fun. So once the kids start playing or whatever, and we're just kind of walking with them, it'll be cool just to kind of read their little energy and see my son walking with the kids. And I don't know. I'm sure he'll introduce me to everybody. This is my daddy. This is my daddy. This is my daddy. This is my, you know how kids are. And um it'll be cool. I'm gonna have fun because it's something he'll remember. DeVray Rice, what's up, Nate? I feel you this every time I pay my Duke bill. I know that's right. Listen, what really kills me is the water bill. I don't even like looking at my water bill because I know I'm getting played. You know what I'm saying? That I just pay the water bill. Just pay it. I don't even look at it. Do it digitally. I don't even want to look at the paper copy. I hate to look at it. I really do, because every time I look at it, I just have nothing but question marks. Like, how am I paying so much for these charges? I'm not using. I mean, they got a damn sewer usage fee or something on there. That's half the damn bill. Half the bill? Like, gosh darn, I guess. Damn. That is a lot of fucking money. So I don't even look at the water bill. The water bill is the most depressing the bill that I pay because I don't understand why I'm paying for it. I really don't. But it is what it is. Duke Energy, I don't know. It's just something about the resources bills that really get to you. Like, paying for this gas is a pain. Oh my God. I be having a straight face, but that shit be painful. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every time I fill it up, I'm like, gosh darn. Back in the days when it was $1.50. Back in the days when it was $2. That wasn't that long ago. I thought we took over Iraq so we wouldn't have to pay these high prices. We telling me we took over a whole country for nothing? I'm telling you, we did not cash in on the fruits of our imperialism. A lot of people got paid off of that Iraq move, to take over the country and kill the leader and then install puppets. We paid a lot of money to do that. And none of that shit trickled down into my household. How in the fuck is gas almost $5 or over $5, and we took over one of the largest oil exporting countries in the world? We can't call nobody? All them folks they killed? Oh, man, they killed all those people and gas still high. So the energy bills hit me the most, and I'll tell you why, DeVray, because I know I'm getting played. This electrically bill, man, I haven't done it, you know what I'm saying, for some other reasons, but every last house should have solar panels on it. And we should get that shit a lot cheaper straight from the universe. They can't block out the sun, so they give us this gosh darn electricity. And that water bill is the most depressing bill that Hamilton Countyans have to, or one of the most depressing bills. For me, it's the most depressing bill because I said it again, they charging me for something. Every time I look at it, I'm like, this shit just don't make sense. But I got to pay it anyway because it got to have water. Got to have water. Iman writes, it's the Russians and Putin. Yeah, I know, but damn, brother Iman, I thought we took over Iraq to keep that black gold flowing straight to the U.S. so we don't got to pay super stupid high gas prices. Are you telling me if we didn't take over Iraq, it might be $10 a gallon? So I guess that was a good imperialism move. Yeah, they killing us with that energy shit. 100%. 100%. I have solar power powering your van. You got solar power in your van? Okay. Shit, that's that next level shit. You're right about it. The universe gives us everything that we need. Capitalism puts it behind a paywall. That is what it is. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. If you like to share your thoughts, you've got me up until about 10. Let me see how this is going to work here. Yeah, right about 10. You got me. Brian writes, they killed all those people to raise gas prices. See, Brian, I see you, Brian. I understand what you mean, brother. At least I think I do. Yeah, that's the real truth, right? Crystal writes, I saw $5.05 a gallon yesterday. It's just depressing, man. You just look at it, man. I've never mean mugged the machine more than I do those gas tanks and shit. I be mean mugging that monitor like, you motherfucker, you motherfucker. You know, $45, $50 in our cars. Like, what the hell? This is crazy. It's like food or gas. But you know what? We have to adapt. You know what I'm saying? I'm already looking into like getting some other ways to get around town that'll be a lot cheaper than doing an Uber shit. Because that's hit the pockets too. Let me see. The gas prices started before that. Biden killed the XL pipeline the day he took office. I am no fan of Trump. His rhetoric as president was disgusting, but the gas prices were lower. One has to admit that. Well, yeah, gas prices were lower, but I'm not really sure. Okay, so what? Gas prices were lower. What are you trying to say? I mean, you're right. Gas prices were lower under Trump, period. That's where you stop. Okay, that's a fact. Are we assigning some blame to it? Because you talked about Biden. Presidents, how much sway does a president have over gas prices? Because to me, if you're a president, if you're a one-term president and you want a second term, the one price that you want, or one of the prices that you want to make sure is low as possible because people might take it out on you, you know, with your reelection efforts, will be gas prices. So, like, how much sway does the president have over gas prices? Because to me, if a president has sway over gas prices, they're going to try to do whatever they can and keep it as low as they can, because that's going to keep the mood of the country. People are smiling. They're not thinking, damn, times are bad, right? So if that's the case, then if Biden has so much sway, then why doesn't he use it right before the midterm elections to make the gas prices go down, to help the Democrats? That would help his agenda and further help his efforts to get reelected. So we can't have it both ways, Greg. I mean, maybe they do have ultimate control, but I don't believe that the president has that much control over gas prices. Because if he did, every last one of them would want them to be as low as possible, as long as possible, to benefit them. But that's just me. But I hear what you're trying to say. Brian writes, it's not the Russians and Putin. That's ridiculous. It's speculative capitalism. They use fear of shortages to hike up prices and then never completely return them to the original price while wages stay the same. I see that all the time, brother. You saying that's what's happening with the gas prices? I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Victoria writes, Mr. Ivey, I feel you on the gas. I feel you on the gas. I feel like we being tricked. My tank was a little over half full. I went to fill it up. It was $65.03. I started just to leave that car and walk home. I was shook. Man, listen. I'm with you, Victoria, 1,000%. Shh. I be mean mugging that motherfucker like, you rotten bastard, you. I'm taking this little money. But it is what it is. You know, we got to make some bicycling, the bus. You know, we got a bus system. Take you anywhere you want to go. Listen, let that shit go a little bit higher. People, it's going to be a mass exodus to the buses. Everybody's going to be, people will be flocking to get to the buses because they won't be able to afford the cars. And then having a car will just be like a further, sign of class. The rich will have them, the poor can't afford them. Could be down the line. Regina writes, got rid of cable over a year ago. They are the mafia. They are a mofa. I asked them one time, what is other charges? They said, I didn't. They said, I didn't know. I figured we were paying for someone to go to college. You're right. Like the shareholders, the top executives, the ownership. Yeah, you paying for them to go to college. Their children to go to college. That's hilarious. Yeah, man, they get you with that. Let me write gas prices and food prices and medicine prices too expensive. Drop writes, Nate, I'm on hold. Okay, let me go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nate. What's up, man?
I'm doing well, brother. My apologies, man.
Nate, you're not having a good technical morning, sir. I feel for you, bro. But, Nate, I just want to make a quick observation. I know you get on Twitter sometimes. I know it's not a lot of Americans on Twitter, but it's enough of them. Average age of a person on Twitter is 32. So yesterday, Uncle Luke, Luther Campbell from 2 Live Crew, he posted about 24 hours ago. I'm going to read the quote. I'm going to read the text. It says, give me 5 reasons why Black people should vote in the next election, period. Give me 5 Black, in capital, Black promises that has been fulfilled by politicians in the last election, mayor and president. It got 7,167 likes, 2,493 retweets, and 5,640 comments. And some of the comments came from people like Jamel Hill, Joy Reid, and other Black spokespeople, and they just ripped Luther Campbell apart. So he went and started the spaces. He let everybody come in, communicate, give out their opinions. And again, Nate, you remember when I switched over to Black Not Democrat in March of last year, and I told you, I said Black Not Democrat was going to be a movement because of the election of Joe Biden and the policies that he claimed he was going to pass. So all I'm saying, Nate, there is a movement going on with the young demographic. That group of young people that you were hanging out with your wife, that young Black excellence, under 45, age 30s, they are starting to question, Nate, the direction that the Democrat Party is taking young Black people for the future. Not old people like me and older people like Glenn, rest in peace. And those opinions are starting to be matched and confronted by these young people who are looking at things from an economic standpoint, like Kev on the Cell, which I had to rack that call because he's basically saying, Nate, it's like we just got to go out and do what we got to do. Inform ourselves, educate ourselves, learn the system, learn how to navigate the and be successful for our families and the people around us. So again, Nate, a change is coming. And it's great to see it that finally the Democrat Party is being held accountable by their constituents because they want something different from their party. They don't want to go be Republicans, Nate.
So let me ask you a question.
They want their party to get their act together. Right. That's all I got.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing you always have, man. I get it. But what do you think that Luke's purpose was? Like, what do you think the point of him posting that is? And I looked it up on Twitter. I'm looking at his post right now. You're right. He did. Give me 5 reasons why Black people should vote in the next election. Now, he's putting this out here right before the midterm elections. What do you think his purpose is?
Again, Nate, like I said, it's the average age group that's on Twitter. is age 32. That's the average. So these young people were out there in them streets in 2020 for George Floyd, rest in peace, for the injustices that was evident around the world. People saw it. It was no more question. Oh, they lied. It don't really happen like that. And those people who went out there gave their blood and sweat because they thought that the Democrat Party was going to do something about it.
But you're getting away from my question.
And they put...
I don't know what you're talking about. My question to you is, I want to remind you, my question is, what do you think that Uncle Luke Campbell, the guy that tweeted this, what do you think his intent is?
He wants the Democrat Party to respond, Nate. That's all he's asking. Tell us why it hasn't happened, or tell us if it did happen. Maybe we missed something, but just give us 5 things that have happened or a reason for us to go vote again. That's all to me. To answer your question, Nate.
So if people
I know you may not like it,
so
but that's the answer. He wants the Democrat Party to respond.
I hear you, brother. I mean, let's have a conversation, though. I mean, but if you think that, so he asked people, he's looking for 5 people or 5 reasons why Black people should vote in the next election. So if I could only come up with 3 or 4.
No, wait, Nate, you're missing the other part. He said,
but I'll get to the other part. I just want to start right there. I mean, because he broke it down as 2 different questions he asked. So I'll get to that. But so if I came up with 3 or 4 and I couldn't come up with 5 reasons, do you think he'd be like, okay, well, that's good enough? Or would he would say, you know what? See, that's why he shouldn't come out and vote. Like, what's the point of all this? Nate, it seems kind of silly.
Okay, but Nate, in the
spaces very that unsophisticated.
Okay, but let me, if you said this is a conversation. So the spaces that he held, there were people who represented the Democrat Party. There were people who had worked directly with Vice President Harris, and they gave one guy, he gave 10 different things. Okay? I'm just telling you, the intent from Luther Campbell, what he said in his spaces and why he did it, he wants the Democrat Party to respond, answer the questions that we're asking. Don't discount us. Don't kick us to the side, or don't call up your Negro whisperers to tell us to sit down and shut up and just show up and vote.
Okay, but what's the purpose of all this? You said they want to have a conversation with Luke, and Luke wants to ask them these questions. Okay, I can get that.
Yeah, because Nate, the Democrat Party is really not used to Black constituents holding them accountable. They're really not. And it's starting to happen. And that's what I'm saying. It's a small fracture, Nate, but it's the younger voters. The younger voters.
So what would that look like exactly? So what would, I don't know if I can't say I agree or disagree with that statement because I'm not really sure how I would quantify that. So how do you quantify the fact that the Democrat Party has never been held responsible by its constituents? Like, what would that look like?
That would look like turnout, Nate. Turnout. The Democrat Party has to get a certain percentage in order to win in primary, in midterm elections, as well as for presidential elections.
Right.
So, okay.
So you say turnout. So what would it look like then? So if for what you want to happen and what you think should happen, you said for the Democrat Party to finally be held responsible, what does that look like? Like, what would that look like in your opinion in the midterm elections coming up?
It would look like what happened after Jimmy Carter, when Ronald Reagan was elected twice, and then his vice president was also elected. So that was a total of 12 years. 3 election cycles where the Black vote did not show up above the 75 to 80% that would be required for them to be the Republican Party candidate.
Okay. So Drop, I want to make sure.
That's the last example.
Brother, thank you for that response. I'm not surprised at what I thought, but I wanted you to say it. So what you're saying and what you're urging is for Black voters, people that have historically come out and voted for the Democrat Party, what you want to see, what you think should happen would be for them to hold the Democrats' feet to their fire in the upcoming midterm election by not turning out, by not coming out and voting, and no more than 75% of that block turning out. Is that correct?
That's partly correct. The part that you're leaving out is that the accountability part. because following a midterm
No, that's
election,
100% correct, but there's just more, sir.
no, it's not. No, it's not,
No, it's
because
100%.
following
You said it's partly correct, but there's more. That means that everything I said is 100% on point, but there's just more that I left out or I just overlooked. Is
yes,
that what you're saying?
yes, the part that
Okay.
you're leaving out is what follows the midterm election. Immediately following the midterm election, the presidential strategy is developed by both parties. Okay, so again, Nate, what Luke Campbell was trying to do, he's trying to get the Democrat Party to talk about what the voters want. Okay, so if they withhold their vote in the midterms, which we already know midterm turnout is low already, but they're putting on the table what we want from the Democrat Party coming up to the 2024 election. This is what Luke and more people like Luke, I'm talking about specifically on Twitter, these voices are getting more and more prominent, Nate, where they're asking these questions, which I call accountability.
So what would be the purpose of all of this?
Clyburn.
So let me get this straight. So black folks don't turn out in the midterm elections, no more than 75% turnout. The Republicans take over Congress, and you're saying that could be followed by up to 12 years of Republican or non-Democrat administrations, because you got independent candidates too, but non-Democrats in the White House. And then what would that do to the, how would that serve black people's interests?
Well, that's what Luke, in the second part that you're leaving out, he said the black promises that have not been fulfilled by politicians.
Right, but
so
sir,
again,
but can you explain something to me, Drop? Explain to me how not turning out in November, no more than 75% of that voting block, the black vote, turns out. That means a whole bunch of Democrat candidates are going to lose and a whole bunch of Republican candidates are going to win. How does that serve the interests of the black community?
Because you'll still have a Democrat president, Nate. And the Republicans, remember what I said, after the midterms, it's going to set the stage for the strategy for the presidential election. So with the Republicans in the majority in the House, with a Democrat president, Nate, they're going to put bills forward that the president is going to have to be bipartisan and sign, just like he signed the infrastructure bill.
You're not making any damn sense, sir.
I know to you it's not, but the people that are listening,
you don't make no sense whatsoever, and you're struggling to tell me how black people not turning out.
That's why you cut me off.
So now you are struggling to tell me. I'm gonna ask you again because you're struggling with this. Explain to us all here how not turning out in the midterm election serves black people.
Okay, hopefully you'll let me finish this time.
Yeah, but you was meandering. You was not making no sense whatsoever.
Okay. Traditionally, turnout is low in the midterms. Okay. So this time it's going to be very low because you see the current climate based on that tweet from Luther Campbell. They already know that they're going to lose upwards of 30 seats. So they try to keep it below 50, Nate, because then that takes away a lot of that majority's power. But
you're not answering the question. You're not answering the question. You're struggling with this.
It's politics, Nate. Politics
but how does that serve the interests of black people by not turning out in the midterm election? Because that's what you said it's all about. That's what you said you want to see happen.
Nate, this is for your audience, sir.
Listen,
this is for your audience. This ain't particularly for you, Nate.
We are very smart, intelligent people.
You're smart, man.
So what you want to see is what you said makes no sense.
Let your audience decide, Nate. Let your audience decide.
They can make their own decision. I'm telling you how I feel about it right here and now.
No, you're not. You're telling them that I sound stupid.
Because you sound stupid to me. They can think whatever they want to think.
So let me finish.
I'm talking to you. You're talking to me.
Comment.
They just happen to be
audience decide how I sound.
You try to obfuscate, sir, because
Nate,
you know you don't make no sense.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Nate, they don't need you to guide your thoughts.
Plan. Listen to this, folks. His grand plan for black voters is don't turn out in the midterm election.
Nate,
right? This is what you just said to me, black man. And I'm supposed to sit here and
I
act like it's not the dumbest shit I ever heard.
Luther
This is what you just said to me.
I read.
Black people
Nate,
should not turn out the
going by
midterm
Luther
election.
Campbell's tweet,
Because
sir.
then,
Look at you getting emotional again.
Listen to how crazy you sound. Black people should not turn out in the election, because then if Joe Biden is reelected, he'll be surrounded by Republicans in Congress. Where have we seen that before? And then that'll force him to be bipartisan. That's your fucking response to my question? Who you think you talking to, man? That shit don't make no sense whatsoever. Some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
We're gonna see.
You making me, man, I'm not even gonna dignify this anymore. Let's talk about something else. You on some dumb shit.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you is. You on
it's
some
your
dumb
show,
shit.
Nate.
You on some dumb shit.
It's
but go ahead,
show.
bro. I mean, it is what it is.
You allow.
This don't say that shit to me.
Show
you may think I'm gonna drive it out. I'm not gonna call you out on that. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. How does that help black people to put more, in some cases, MAGA Republican congressmen and women in Congress? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my entire life, and you can see what they doing. Come on, man. You're going to have to come better than this.
Okay. Can I have the last word, Nate?
Don't demean me with this
shit.
Go ahead. You got the
floor. Can I have the last word? Okay. When I started off my call, I read the tweet, Nate, and I said I was done. I was getting ready to hang up. But you chose this line of questioning, trying to interpret the tweet. And you did not want to address the second part of the tweet with the Black promises that have not been fulfilled. So I appreciate the time. I'm going to look forward to having these calls more often in the future, because what I'm saying is going to happen, Nate, and we will be discussing it when the Republican Party will be in the majority. So thanks for taking my call, and I hope you have a great time chaperoning your son, because he will be telling everybody that's his daddy. Thank you, Nate. Drop Squad 52, dropping science. Anyone who wants to catch it, peace.
All right, appreciate you. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, bro. I can see I hurt your feelings a little bit, but I just got offended. Like, damn, do I have clown ass nigga on my forehead? No, I do not. You just can't say anything. That makes no sense. So basically, he just told on himself. That's what the whole plan is. It's all about, let's put Republicans in office. How does that serve black people's interest? How does that serve black people's interest? I mean, we should really look at that. Maybe it does serve your interest. He struggled to even explain it, because he could see like, oh, I can see where this is going. And then, so the Democrats lose power. And I'm not saying the Democrats are our savior, but we do know there's two political dominant parties, and we do have an understanding of what they basically stand for and the faults of both of them. Like, let's be mature and adult about this. Ain't neither one of them perfect, but we both know who they are and what they represent and what they stand for on a local, state, and national level. And we might all have similar thoughts based on your experience, but I think generally speaking, we understand that. So his plan is to put the Republicans in power, and that'll force whoever the Democrat president is, let's say Joe Biden, to be bipartisan. And then what? This is stupidest shit, man. We ain't dumb over here, bro. Yeah, somebody run shit to you, like, that's what you think of me? Damn. It is what it is. Good morning. Whoa.
Good morning, Nate. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
This is Chris.
What up,
Chris? Should I bring you over some Advil? Because I need someone to listen to that conversation. Like, my head hurts completely. Like, I mean, he mentioned just some dumb shit, like every time there's a new president coming, the midterm always switches at least once during that presidency. It happens all the time. That's politics. So I don't understand where he's coming from with, if the black people don't get out and vote. And he's saying it about tweets like, this is what's happening. That's like the Trump party and Fox News saying the election was stolen because Trump had 10,000 people at every rally, and there's no possible way Joe Biden could have won the election because he only had people at his rallies.
Right.
I mean, you're not getting elected off of tweets. You're not getting elected off of people showing up in your rally. So I don't understand why and how he can say and why they continue to say that. I mean, I could be a felon that can't vote, but I can comment because that's my right. You know what? I'm gonna tweet that. Yeah, that's what you're going off on. Okay, Nate, and you can't make you one of your last phone calls because that just, you know, it gives me the bubble guts every time listening to him.
He got that kind of effect on you, bro. Damn.
And ain't I can tell you, bro, it ain't just me. There's a lot of other people in there that like. I mean, the last time I heard him talking about some dumb shit, I was like completely out of. I don't know. I mean, really, that's how he got me tongue twisted completely. Please don't make it the last one. I know you got to get off here. Got to go to your son's chaperone at your son's school. Don't make it my last call. That's my request. My only request.
All right, brother. I think you gonna be last call. Chris,
I appreciate it. Talk to you later.
Yeah, talk to you later. That's Chris. Have a great day, everybody. I gotta make a move. Yeah. That's what I'll be doing this afternoon, and I'm gonna look forward to it. Hopefully, the rain will hold off and spend some time with all the little people. I just love seeing kids be kids. I love it. It is one of the joys of this reality. Nothing like seeing their little faces eating some ice cream or devouring some candy and just playing with other kids. It is the best thing in the world. So I'm gonna do that today. And oh man, it's just so many other things. I got a chance to start that Cat Williams. I'm halfway through, so I'm gonna wait and give you my thoughts on it probably tomorrow. We'll see if I get a chance to watch it. I got a little bit of TV watching over the weekend, just a little bit though, just not a whole lot. Bunch of stuff going on, man. Chairman Mom has been super heavy on my heart. So, and there's some other things as well. But again, at the end of the day, your boy gonna be good. I'm gonna be Gucci, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see Luther Campbell. Chris is right. It's just a tweet. Josh trying to make it into be like the gospel. I mean, Luther Campbell can have whatever attitude he wants. It's always interesting to see like midterm and then presidential elections. It's always interesting to see like where people align politically. Like who would have ever thought? But I guess on some levels it makes sense, you know, because them right wingers, you know, the uncles and aunties and grandparents of the kids who out today was after Luther Campbell and Two Live Crew's ass. Back then, it was all about like the culture wars was all about like graphic content in media, right? Look at these videos and showing all of this in the video, and people are talking and doing sexually explicit stuff in videos, like, you know, censorship was a big thing right there. And of course, Luther Campbell and Two Live Crew was at the epicenter of it. It's interesting. He swings now. It seems like he's aligned himself politically, perhaps, because there's some stuff on here about him being in support of Marco Rubio, who is an arch Republican senator, I believe in Florida. But it makes sense. It makes sense. He would align himself on some levels with those individuals, considering his history. You know, maybe he just made some friendships, or maybe it's something else. I don't know. If you're looking for a new spot to get your lunch today, Wing Champ, their website, 3Ws.originalwingchamp.com, the undisputed champion of all wings. They got a very interesting menu. They have some fun with it. So check them out. Check them out online and check out their menu. Perhaps you want to call ahead and reserve a spot for the fam sometime this week. It's always nice to take a break and just go out to eat. The world is getting back to so-called normal, or maybe it'll be that next event. Maybe you're in a position, you're the decision maker as to where, you know, the company does their little luncheons. You might want to check them out, or maybe you want them to cater an event for you. Wing Champs is there for you. Check them out. You can call ahead for pickup and delivery. Again, 3Ws.original Wing Champ. Check them out. Good morning. Good morning. And listen, have an excellent rest of your Monday, family. I'll be back and hopefully better than ever with you tomorrow morning. We'll chop it up on people, politics, and pleasure. I got a topic that I'm brewing of for tomorrow. I'll be talking with parents tomorrow. I'll be talking to and directly about parents tomorrow. Perhaps. You never know what's going to happen in the World Wide Web. You never really know. So have an excellent rest of your day. Remember our motto: winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. Stay focused and stay winning. And we'll talk real soon. Until then, I'm Nate Ivey, and I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, I told him it's nothing. In the discussion, for them feelings I throw on my pen on percussion.